Okay guys, so today I am going to show you how to write body paragraph 3. Now none of you are fooling me. We have been writing essays like this all year, and for current 4th graders, I know that we wrote essays like this all last year, so I know you guys know how to put together a body paragraph. But I'm going to go over it again just in case you're concerned or do you have any questions, okay? So what I'm going to do is go back to my Dr. Seuss text. You will, of course, go back to whatever anchor text you were using, depending on what animator you were writing about. And I'm going to figure out what paragraph I'll be pulling my supporting details from. Now, just to recap, I used these 2 paragraphs here for my body paragraph 1. So I'm not pulling any supporting details from that. I used these 3 paragraphs here for my body paragraph 2. So I'm not pulling any supporting details from that. I'm actually going to be using this very last paragraph here to pull supporting details from my body paragraph 3. So make sure you are pulling all your supporting details from this paragraph. Obviously, you're not using the same text as me, but you're not, let me emphasize this, you are not pulling any supporting details for body paragraph 3 from the paragraphs that we used for previous body paragraphs. Does that make sense? All right, I'm sure it will because I've gone over it with you a million times. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to check and see what body paragraph 3 should start with. It says that Dr. Seuss passed away when he was 87 years old. So we are going to be talking about the end of his life in this paragraph. Let me go ahead and start here. I'm going to say the final detail, you don't say third, you say final, about Dr. Seuss is that he passed away when he was 87 years old. You would obviously put the final detail about whatever your animator's name is that, and then whatever your main idea 3 was. And you can see it in your introduction, the one that starts with finally, or you can look on your 4-square outline for it. It's up to you. Now to find my supporting details, I'm going to go back here. This is where I'm pulling my supporting details from. It says, over the years, Ted has written 44 children's books. I like that one. I'm going to make it a little different. I'm going to say, before he died, Ted had written 44, how about instead of children's books, books for children. I paraphrased that with my own words. I like this one, how he's won tons of awards and many of his books have been turned into movies. I'm going to say that. His work won many awards, and several of his books were even turned into movies. I don't like that term turned into. I think I'd like to paraphrase that. Instead of turned into, I'm going to say made into, or even made into movies. I don't want it to sound too similar to the paragraph where I got my information from. So I've got a lot of good information here that I could use for my last supporting detail. I like this one. Ted had a knack for making even the most difficult topics understood by children. He believed fantasy is a necessary ingredient in living. And then this one. It may be a surprise to learn that this great American children's author never had any children of his own. I'm going to paraphrase that in a big way. I'm going to say, even though Dr. Seuss touched the hearts of children all over the world, he never had any children of his own. You may notice that I did not use any evidence-based terms here. I could have used for example, and I could have used it said in paragraph blank that. In these ones, I used evidence-based terms, but you'll notice that I paraphrased to the point where I didn't really need any evidence-based terms. I said things like before he died, he'd written 44 books for children. The evidence-based terms are usually what we use to help us paraphrase. Now, for 3rd grade, I think it's probably necessary for you guys to use your evidence-based terms. For 4th and 5th grade, you guys have more experience with paraphrasing. It's okay if you feel like you can make it a decent paragraph without using your evidence-based terms. Okay, so let's try to start moving away from that. The last thing I need to put is my transition sentence. You can come up with your own transition sentence, but the one that we default to, the one that you use if you can't think of anything else, is, this is an important detail about your animator. I will put Dr. Seuss. So that is my completed body paragraph 3. This means that I've completed my introduction, my body paragraph 1, my body paragraph 2, and my body paragraph 3. All I have left is my conclusion.